Hey there, this is Harmony Gates, the radical aliveness and embodied relationship guru. I had a friend ask me to give her some tips for staying embodied and really feeling more comfortable and able to stay present in the body while we're in our Zoom meetings, which a lot of us are in a lot more of these days. And so this is just going to be kind of a quick list with a little bit of demonstration about what I find really useful when I am in the Zoom meetings. Okay, so first, some really basic tips about how you sit in front of your screen. This comes from my Feldenkrais training, and it's a really, really valuable way to position your body so that you are alive in your body. So rather than sitting way back in your chair and slumping, as a lot of us do, I want you to scoot all the way up to the front so that your sit bones are really almost on the front of the chair. You can feel them pressing into the chair, and your legs should be not together but apart a little bit, and your legs should be, it doesn't look like it in the video, but they're at a right angle here. This is a 90-degree angle, and your feet flat on the floor. So the next thing you want to do to really find the posture I'm talking about is bring your arms up over your head. And that requires a shift in your pelvis. You should be able to feel that. And then without shifting your pelvis back, just bring your arms down. It scoots you forward on your chair, kind of pulls your tail back a little bit, tips your pelvis forward. And this opens up your chest and opens up all of this energy in the front of your body. So you are more receptive, but also more available to share from this position. So if you can keep this posture while you're in your meeting, it will make all the difference. And some of the points to help you track whether you're in the posture is you want your feet, you can feel your feet and how they're pushing into the floor, and the floor is meeting the bottom of your feet. You want to be able to feel those sit bones and be feeling almost like you're spilling out of the chair. And then you can imagine that your arms are raised above your head, even as they're by your side. So try that. Bring your arms up and feel that all through your back, where the pressure is on the chair, kind of where your shoulders and chest and neck are. It should lengthen your neck. And then bring the arms down. And then slump a little bit. And then imagine you're raising your arms over your head. And you don't do this by seeing yourself as a person who is raising her arms. Instead, you bring your attention in your body and you imagine actually bringing your arms up over your head. You let your body create that through your imagination, and it will change and open your posture. So that's really important in terms of just being able to sit with an alert, open, available presence. Another way to be in the meeting and stay embodied is to pay attention and track your own breath. So if you've ever meditated and tracked your breath, you know that you need to bring your awareness, your attention, your focus from an outside sort of seeking kind of a focus to an internal sort of sensation-based focus. You can close your eyes or soften your eyes and open up your ears to just sort of be almost like a radar that picks up sound. Your eyes can be soft and also be kind of this soft radar almost that that doesn't look directly, but sort of allows in the light and the different things in your environment. You can also track your internal physical sensation. So again, this would be what we did initially with the posture, not just getting into the posture, but sort of constantly attending, at least part of your attention, attending to pick one piece or move it around, your feet pressing into the floor, or your sit bones pressing into the chair, or your chest open because you're imagining raising your arms. And just in the same way you might hear a bell tone in a meditation and track that and follow that as long as you can, you do the same with your attention in your body into these different kinds of sensations. Soft visual, allowing audio, sort of open, sort of being radar, or the kinesthetic sense, the somatic sense of your body image of yourself and how it is interacting with the different surfaces, or imagining the postures. And then the breath is within that. So the breath can accompany any of those. I can be listening, but also breathing as I'm listening. Or I can be really feeling my feet on the floor and pressing my sit bones. And I can also include the fact that I'm a breathing body. And that softens our attention so we don't end up so hyper-focused with our eyes and our energy. You can feel it in your neck and your shoulders when you lean in to really attend closely to something, especially something with the left part of your brain, which is very instrumental. It tries to track and analyze and stay on top of details. Whereas the right brain is much more kind of in this holographic state of being the center of experience and allowing experience to happen with our awareness at the center. When you take a break, you want to step away and take an actual break from your Zoom engagement. Let's say whoever is running the Zoom says, let's take 10 minutes or 5 minutes and we're going to stretch and move. Here's some things you can do. First of all, stand up. Stand up. And again, a really important thing to do when you've been sitting, if your posture has been tight and this is all closed off, is to bring your arms up over your head and just really allow them to float up. It's not even like a hard reach. It's just like you let your arms arise and rise and just feel that through your body. And you can do some active opening up in the back here, stretching here, and just going slowly and sensing rather than trying to achieve the end product, which is, okay, my hands are up here now. Now what? It's more like, if I soften my eyes and just be the internal experience of the movement, I have a completely different experience. It's almost like the movement is happening and I'm just sort of tracking it and letting it happen. I like to go into free form myself and just let wherever it feels good, just kind of accentuate and deepen into that. A lot of times for me, it's in the shoulders and the upper back from sitting and from being in front of the screen. So that's one thing. Another thing is to just shake. Bounce and shake. Get into sort of jumping, shaking, and flinging. This is like flinging and shaking. You can just bounce easy and shake. And what I'm doing here is I'm really, every part of my body is basically stiff except for the balls of my feet are bouncing. And the rest of me is kind of like a stiff board for this. But I can also get loose and let things sort of get more random. And let the head and neck really be involved. So we're not just holding the neck. That's a really good way to energize. And then stop, and you can feel just the aliveness, the tingling, the sort of buzzing in the body. And then just a breath is so important. It's such a way to integrate self, body with the rest of the self, and to really have an integrated self-awareness of our organism. Not just our mind and our thoughts, but body is buzzing, heart is beating, breath is a little more intense. On the last piece I'll demonstrate is kind of a series of ways to sort of bring energy into your body. If you've hit that slump where you're kind of tired, it's that part of the day, or you've just been on the Zoom or any other kind of deep focus that's intense, and you just you're getting tired. This is going to be a series that I learned from energy medicine. And the first piece is just thumping. So this is your thymus right here. You can tap and thump your thymus. You can thump these points here after that, and you can thump right at the bottom of the rib cage on the sides. These are acupuncture, acupressure points. So you have here, here, and here. What you can do next is you can do what's called cross crawl. So it's like a march. It's like the opposite knee and opposite leg coming up. And you can just really feel into that and let the swing and the pace be what feels comfortable for you. And then next, I forget the name of this one, but apparently this works. I do the series when I want to kind of bring my energy out of a slump. If you take your hands and you put them together and you look at what's happening at the top of your hands, whichever thumb is on top, in my case it's the right thumb, then that's the leg that's going to come across the body and over on top of the other knee. And then you're going to take your left hand, or this hand, you can see, you can copy me, and then this other hand, the same hand that's bent over the knee, is going to reach over and grab sort of the bottom of your foot, and you're going to take hold of that foot, and then you're going to let yourself sort of lengthen your spine and really sit up, and just hold that position, you know, for 30 seconds. And then let that go. You just have to do it on the one side. You can then massage. These are some really important points here. Here, along right under the collarbone, all the way up, almost into sort of the top of the armpits here, and the lymph. This is sort of a lymph draining thing that you can do. It's great to do it on the sides of your legs. And while I'm at it, this is another thing I do to keep myself awake and in my body when I'm sitting, is I will just grab, you know, my thighs and kind of with the tip of my fingers and my thumbs, and just sort of, it's a little dig in, a little massage, especially into those IT bands on the sides. These hit a lot of acupressure points. And just, you can do it easily or gently. You can rock a little bit. You can do it almost without anybody knowing if you're close enough to the screen. You know, keep your upper body in the position I talked about, and you just kind of, unbeknownst to anyone, you are bringing yourself awake and alive. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm just going to scoot in and name one more thing. So I'm in the sitting posture that I explained and described and showed you, where I'm on the front of my chair. My knees are parallel with the chair, so they form a right angle where they bend, and my feet flat on the floor. And my upper body is sitting as if my arms were over my head. And that's my default participation in Zoom conferencing posture. Breath is easy. And I'm just going to guide you through a little embodiment process that can help you stay embodied and also keep your nervous system really calm. Some people, we get nervous when it's our turn to speak in a group, and this can really help with that. So once my attention is tracking and taking in my posture, an important piece here is that my eyes, rather than looking into the camera, I really have my attention sort of as if I'm sitting in the back of my body. So my eyes are open and they're pointing towards the camera, but my attention is really in an inward place. So I am engaged with focusing into my breath and my body, and my attention is, I call this sort of a soft, open awareness. When I'm about to speak, often I still can become a little self-conscious. So it's important for me to be in this breathing, sort of self-regulating state as right before I open my microphone, and then open the mic, take a breath or two, take myself in that way. And then before I speak, I make eye contact with someone. And I make sure I am speaking to someone in relational space. And if I want to shift my attention then to somebody else, I can move my attention on the screen to someone else if it's gallery view, and then I speak to them. And so I make sure that each sentence or thought is in relation to somebody else, in relational space. It's landing and I'm relating to them as I'm speaking. And that keeps me really calm, because I have a tendency, an old pattern of getting nervous and then speaking as if I'm just hanging out here by myself and there's really nobody I'm talking to, and I can't stay connected to myself, and I don't really get the comfort of knowing and seeing that I'm being received. So I look for someone who seems to be present, and I speak to that person or that person, just like you would if you're public speaking and you pick someone in the audience to actually say your words to. Actually say your words to. And finishing, take a deep breath. It's great to go slow and breathe and pace. And it not only keeps your own system calm, but guess what? Those who are listening will entrain with you, and it will calm them down if they need that as well. So it's a gift. Well, I'm hoping that this was useful, and it's been my pleasure to share it. Enjoy your Zoom meetings. Hopefully with your arms above your head in your imagination and yourself sitting on the front of your chair, taking breaks, get your energy moving and open things up. And we'll talk next time. I am a Radical Aliveness and Embodied Relationship coach and guide. I help people find their own self-empowerment, especially when it's relational and social. So if you need to find me or want to find me, check out Radical Aliveness. You'll find links to my website on my YouTube page. You can check out my blog. You can check out my website, which is listed as harmonygates.com. Take care.